Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Yo, Bob.
Yoy, Joy.
Ooh, hit me with the yoy.
That could actually be your name backwards with the correct language. The J sometimes makes the I sound in other languages.
Okay.
Yoy. It makes me think of yogurt. Anything that starts with the word yo makes me think of yogurt. If you would have asked me this in 1988, I would have said anything with yo is rap. Now I'm at the age where anything with yo is yogurt. So anybody named Yolanda, I just think you're yogurt. A big pile of yogurt.
Well, damn.
Hey, Yolanda.
Why you gotta do Yolanda like that?
I don't know. I know so many Yolandas. Shout out to all the Yolandas I know.
I haven't known a Yolanda in a hot minute, quite frankly.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I went to school with one.
Do you know, is there any names that you've never met a single one of them you've always wanted to meet?
Ooh. No.
Like Pierre?
I was gonna say I have always wanted to meet a Guillaume. I've never met one.
French.
Right. Actually, like not
Yeah.
like your French teacher assigned William. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we both go to French names, which says a lot about us.
Doesn't it? But, I
know,
would
porn
also
star
be
named Pierre.
into meeting a Joffrey.
Real Joffrey.
A real Joffrey. Would he call himself Joffrey, or would he call himself Jeffrey? Like, which one would he think he was?
I don't know. Is
He would be
Steven supposed to be
Joffrey.
Stefan, or are they supposed to stay with Steven? Some Stefans say Steven.
That's true. It's a confusing world that we live in. Because
Stephen.
there's Jeff Ray and there's Jeffrey.
Joffrey.
No, but I'm also saying I switched. Like the two spellings of Jeffrey.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know.
It's a
Jeffrey
confusing world.
and Jeffrey. Wow. People who fucking fuck up their names, fuck them motherfuckers, Bob. I always give people shit about their names and spellings on the show, but really it's because of me that I talk about other people. Because I'm in the club. So if I can, it's like when you can talk about your own people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
people just need to calm down and realize.
Like, whenever people, I say how to spell my name, that immediate, deep roll in people's heads is pretty amazing. And they're like, wait,
they're
what?
like, so you just had to make it difficult for me.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks. So it's December still.
Uh-huh.
We're here in the studio.
Looking around.
Looking
Looking
around.
at how much, you've coordinated and everything.
Oh, I've moved things around. I have a music section to the studio now, and
Because it's hardcore. You're deep into Creep Patrol. I can't speak today.
Creep Patrol. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, you don't sound as very excited about your project. Or you one of those you can't talk about it until it's finished?
No, I can talk about it. It's fine. I'm just deep into it now, so I'm getting more musical things. Actually, I still have the guitar that I haven't even plugged into the computer yet because I haven't bought the adapter to plug the guitar into the computer. So I have lots of things to do.
Yeah. I mean,
so little time.
your work is never done as an artist, but that's part of the good stuff, right?
Right. So.
Which, speaking of art, can I just real fast?
Yeah.
We're not gonna, art is a stretch. Craft is more like it.
Craft.
But I'm really feeling my new craft thing that I love. You know, the 65-year-old lady that lives in me. She gets so excited about new shit.
Right. Is it a new color of yarn? Is it deep blue? Is it new blue?
No, although I am working on my first ever blanket.
Okay.
So, working on that. That's not the thing I'm excited about. I'm excited about this thing called, they call it 5D diamond painting. But to call it diamonds is a stretch. They're like colored studs is the best way to think of them. They're like these little dots, flat on one side, somewhat kind of curved on the other. And you pick it up. You have a little stick that has this little tacky kind of material, and then you pick it up and you put it on a color-coded paper, and it makes a beautiful picture. And the first one I did was a multicolored cat, of course.
So right.
What else am I gonna do?
What else are you gonna do? So this is painted by numbers diamond edition, is what you're telling me?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Okay.
And there's something about it that's so. This is why I like it. It's so relaxing. It's just almost meditative because you just pick up the dot. You place it, and you're just like looking for the same codes because you're doing that over and over and over again. And there's something about it that's like, there's something about it that doesn't really like you can not think, so all the crazy's not happening in my head because I'm just focused on making my pretty picture. And yeah, I just wanted to.
Have you ever tried pointillism?
What the fuck is that? Did you just make that up?
No, absolutely not. No, it's an art. So where you just make little dots and you create a picture
I've seen
with dots. I mean, it's usually used for scientific illustrations. It's hard as fuck.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I've seen pictures that come out of that.
Yeah,
and
no,
they look
I
hard as fuck.
I think I told that story before, where that teacher wanted to kill me and he threatened to hit me with his part from his motorcycle. That was my scientific illustration class, and that's all we did was sit and make dots for 3 hours straight every Friday. But I feel after you're describing that to me, that might be something you might get into.
It's possible. I feel hesitant when you say that because if I can't draw regularly, I feel like, what am I gonna pointillism like create? Realizing I made that word wrong.
I feel
I could dot up some stick people.
well, it's more of an understanding of shadows than it is actual drawing.
Right.
So it's like taking drawing and exploding it a little bit. So if you look at it from a perspective of you can see something and you can see how things look. Drawing is completely drawing it's hard to describe. So drawing things is hard because you don't actually draw what you see. Because you see things in like hard lines, in which most things don't have hard lines.
Right.
So getting around the fact, literally, that's a pun, getting around the fact that things curve, normally people who can't draw can't get around the fact that they can't draw what they see.
Right.
Because your eye, it plays a practical joke on, not a practical joke, but it's an optical illusion on you. So all that aside, looking at something but doing dots is basically just the closer the dots together, the darker the shadow.
Yeah.
So I feel that since you can't draw, you might actually do better at that.
Huh. Well, you never know.
If you're going to teach yourself something, teach yourself one of the hardest things to do.
I mean, why not, right? Go.
If you can fucking do it with diamonds, Joy, why can't you do it with graphite? I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I couldn't. I said I get nervous. Okay? Shit. But I would be willing to try it. I'd be willing to do anything, quite frankly, that takes away
Double do those?
from the way that my pets have taken over my life.
Here we go.
I mean, can we not go there?
No, we can go there. Let's go there.
Because the little bastards, I love them to death, right?
Twins.
Happy to have them. Right, the before and after. That's what I like to lovingly call them. I can say that, okay, because I'm fat. So it's not mean when I look at my He-Man and I say, oh, baby, you are so fat, and so is Mommy.
Right.
And Optimus is trying to be skinny, but the thin girls look at him and they go, not really.
He's a 2X
Right, and
in a large world.
He really is. But I love them to death, but they work my nerves, and then they take over your life. Like, don't you find? I know you know the struggle of changing your schedule for your pet.
Your schedule is your pet.
Right, and people do not get that. And so it's hard. You don't even explain it. You just have to come up with other things. How can we make people understand? Is there a way to make them understand?
I don't think so, because you can't. People who have children say the worst thing possible to me when they talk about my dog. So, like, I don't talk about my dog all the time. Like, oh, I love my dog. There's pictures. I do love my dog. He's chill. He's there for me. I'm there for him. We're down. We're like two guys who are never really going to get it on, just hanging out on the couch together. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Like a first date that never goes anywhere. But there's medical conditions involved. But like, and I talk about like having to give my dog 2 shots a day,
Right.
give him eye drops because of his eye situation, for over a year, like 4 years now, he's been getting eye drops, and 6 years he's been diabetic. So like we've been doing this for this long. It's part of my life. I don't, I have to plan everything around it, because if I don't, like he gets a shot at 7:30 in the morning. That's easy. I'm here. It's that. But like in the evening, I have to do everything either before 7:30 or things after 7:30, and there's always everything goes on at 7 o'clock at night.
Basically.
Everything.
Basically.
The first movie always 7. Anyway, so all that aside, whenever I explain that to people who have children, they always say that one thing that drives me absolutely fucking crazy, even though I'm already there. Well, they're just like kids, aren't they? But they're not, because if I was to say something
right
about my dog that I had to do for my dog that's just as important, like I had to leave work one time because I had to go do something for Mojo, and my boss was like, you have to like give me ahead of time when you need to do this, blah, 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 blah. It's like it's an emergency, I need to do it. Like it wasn't it wasn't something that I could do. The attitude was, it's just a dog.
Because that's usually how it is.
But then I have to listen to every person ever who has children talk about every appointment that they have to go do for their children, everything that they have to do for schools, for this, for that, doctors, whatever. And it's perfectly, absolutely 100% okay.
Oh, yeah.
Without a question.
You better fucking know.
You can't even say, well, is it that important, Susan?
No.
Like, is Brianna's third dentist appointment today really that important? The bitch, just take her teeth out. Like, why does she have so many appointments? But, it's like that. It's like, I could never say that to her, because then she'd be like, it's my child.
Right.
You don't understand because you don't have children.
Oh, yeah, but who are you preaching to? I know all of those things, those words.
Well, you know it worse because you're a woman, and women expect other women to
Yeah.
have already had lots of children.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, so you don't have any kids? I do. They wear fur coats.
They wear fur coats.
Okay. Yeah, it's true.
And they go to prom too.
Well, but then, so this is the other thing now. You don't have this because you have one. But I was just thinking about it today as I was cleaning, because, I've been up since, really, if I'm honest with you, I've been up since 5:30.
Okay.
Because just like children, they're up, they're all energetic and stuff.
Or a dick appointment.
I scheduled mine at 9. Anyways, so they want to be up, so fine, fuck it, I'm up. No, sleep isn't important. And we had a whole morning before I started cleaning. And I was thinking as I was cleaning, I was like, I'm not that different than other parents, because I also have a favorite. And we're not supposed to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it changes. I think that's the thing with parents. I think they don't want to talk about this piece. But I know sometimes their favorite switches.
Absolutely.
But there's probably that one that they're like,
they're my firstborn, so I have to like them.
And I'm just that kind of rough-ass bitch who'll just be like, they're our favorites. They're just are. Like, the one who doesn't whine and cry all the fucking time for no apparent reason. Because he has everything under the sun.
Well, I think you just hit at a point where people have multiple children. Maybe they're just like, oh, I have this one. It's fucked up this way. I may have another one. Oh, it's missing this point. Maybe if we have a third one, it'll just have all the points so we can love it easily without any conditions.
Well, listen, this is the truth of children that people don't say directly, but you know how we always catch those things that people say that
it's
they didn't
eyes.
really say.
It's in the eyes.
It's in the eyes. It's also in the. I've heard all of these true things. Well, thank God I had two, because X is, I mean, he'll take care of me, but why? He'd put my ass in a home. And, me and Y, we just really understand each other and everything. X is just so difficult. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things.
I don't know why you're saying X and Y. Why aren't you making up names? We usually make up names.
I guess I could have made up names, but I was thinking of the actual names, and I didn't have time to get my
Xander and Yolanda at this point. X and Y.
I love that. But seriously, like parents say these things, and it's like, and kids always know who's the favorite and who's not. Like,
Right? Yeah. No. Like, I know who my grandma's favorite grandkid is. I mean, it might be different because you. I mean, I only have one sibling, so, and we're both assholes. So, I
Your mom
wagered
was
that
over you
I
both.
wagered that my mom has found it hard to love us both equally at the same time, the entire time we've been in existence. But you have multiple siblings from multiple families, so like different, like different relationship situations. Do you feel like your dad still has a favorite or had a favorite?
Uh, I I don't know that he necessarily had a favorite. I think he had, in terms of his most favorite hope, I think that changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's the hope of yeah.
And I would say that I don't know this to be true. I think that maybe he had like the most hope for my youngest brother.
Yeah, that's what I actually.
Because
That's
he's
what I was
very
thinking.
much, it's very much, a man. So, he was all about, even though he taught us girls to be independent and to,
And fight.
and fight and be successful, nonetheless, he would then turn around and say things to me like, I could find you a husband from Africa. And I'm like, excuse you? So
Right, like
you're raising
you
me to be
can do it by
independent, but
yourself.
now...
So you're a single woman. Do it on your own. But if you had a man from Africa,
Right, and who would put you in a traditional role where you're supposed to be,
Mhm.
subservient and everything? What the? I would look at him like, have you met me? Have you ever met me?
he does. He.
I would never do
I mean,
that.
you never ever really said to him that your issue with African men, right?
I never told him my issue with African men, but he knew good and hell well that I wasn't going to marry some man that wanted to be the boss of everything. Like,
Yeah,
I'm Doris
you're
Jr.
like
over here.
new.
Like,
Yeah,
hello.
you're not new. Like, my personality is the reason you got divorced in the beginning, the first place. So like, why would you?
Why would you even try? Don't try. So, but I think because my youngest brother is still young, but like
He was still, but he was
he's
more.
very much in love with, loved his dad so much and was just like wanted to do all the things and
Yeah, because he's still young enough not to have the not delusions, but the illusions.
yeah.
Like now you've met the man behind the curtain situation. Like
Right,
you think
right.
the Great Oz, but there's the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, you
So
have to
I
get to
mean,
a certain
and that's
age
why
for that.
you get with all. I don't think it's just your family. Obviously, it's something that everybody gets to in their life when they like realize that the people that they idolize probably aren't the most. Ever they're flawed because you put everybody on a pedestal thinking that they're the most amazing, and then you realize, oh, they're human too.
Yeah.
That was a deep conversation.
It was, but it was a lot of deep truths.
So, the boys, you which one do you love the most?
Right now, He-Man's my favorite.
Really?
He-Man, he always comforts me. Like, he can tell when I'm not, feeling good. The holidays are hard for me. So he's always like, oh, Mom's not in a good mood. And he'll come and lay next to me and just purr. And, you know what I mean? Like, he's just so easygoing. As long as you just keep his ass fed every single minute of the day, that's all he wants. And he's fed, he's happy.
Yeah.
And where Optimus, he's going through some kind of existential shit that I don't even know because I can't speak cat and he can't speak human. So
There'll never be that bridge.
no, I try to pet him, I try to hold him. He does. It's not enough.
Well, I had that problem with my dog.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want. If he'll give me a minute of like cuddling,
Right.
then that's all I'm gonna get for a week because he fights it. Like he doesn't want to go. He always wants to be at my feet. He doesn't want to be up at the top.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be held. He doesn't want to be hugged. He doesn't want any of that stuff. So he wants to be fed. And then he wants to know where I'm at all times.
Right. Right.
Because we talked about he's visually impaired a little bit. So he does like come up and look and make sure where I'm at. If I'm in here or if I'm in there. Like he's constantly trying to find me.
Yeah.
And he wants to be by me, like he is now in the studio. We have a little bed section for Mojo, and he's in
And
his
so he wants to
apartment.
comfort you, but from a distance, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's hard to explain to people how much you can love a being that
Doesn't talk to you.
doesn't talk to you and can be iffy. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
other people would see it and think, "Oh man, that's really iffy. Like I don't even know why I would go.
Why
I
would you
wouldn't
be in
go
that
through.
relationship?
Yeah, I wouldn't go through all the things you go through to have them." And as you, I'm sure know, it's like, well, you just don't. You're not in it, so you don't get it. You can't
Right.
understand.
There's also something to be said about having a pet and having a routine that it actually enriches your life a little bit. Because if you were single, as we're both single, and had nothing else to do,
Yeah.
anytime I cuss out loud when I'm home, he gets upset. And I'm like, it's not you, calm down. Like, I might just be playing a video game, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I always have to look to see how he reacts to me
Oh.
cussing.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he's always done that. Even if it's joking cussing. Like, if you
Hmm.
say cuss words, he, like, looks at you like, is something going on? Is something, like, I don't know.
Trying to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, but.
Mine are just like, what is this bitch talking about again? Because, half the time I'm talking to myself or I'm talking to them, even though they're not listening, not paying attention to me at all. They could care less.
The only time when he gets really agitated is if there's no music or there's no sound. Because I always have the radio on when I'm gone. When I'm home, the TV's on, or I'm in the studio working on something, so music's always happening. So if there's no sound, he
He's
immediately
like,
gets up like,
yeah.
what the hell? Did he leave me alone and not have any music on? That's when he thinks that I'm like, I don't know why, because we've never left him in a silent situation. But
Yeah. That's weird.
on purpose. Sometimes power outages happen.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. I don't have to say any more.
Nothing
We've said
more?
enough.
That's it? Oh my God.
I just had that on my heart.
Okay, well, I'm glad your heart is cleansed. Do you have anything else to talk about? This is a pretty random episode, right? We're just kind of throwing things out there that's heavy on our hearts.
Yeah. Just talking to people, just sharing our realness.
Oh,
our
I have
truth.
something that's really on my heart. It's safety during hookups.
I knew it was coming. I was like something on your heart that will not be serious.
Never serious about my heart, if it's even there. So I don't know. Have we ever talked about the fact that I hide my wallet and my phone whenever someone comes over to my apartment?
Not on the podcast, I don't think.
Or if I'm going to their place, I leave it all in the car as well. Which is stupid because I could get murdered and I won't have a phone. But if I'm gonna get murdered, I'm gonna get murdered, right? We've all decided that no one wants to move a fat person's body after they've been killed. So yeah, I do this thing where usually in a hookup situation, I don't know if everyone out there is into hookups and have the hookup life, but there's messaging back and forth. There's the giving of the address, which is usually the third from the last message. Then the next message is I'm here message, and then it's the me saying okay message, and then me hiding my wallet and keys and phone.
Except for not always the phone, right? Because they you gotta have the phone because
We don't videotape it every time, Joy.
No. I'm saying because there's no point in
Joking.
hiding it because you just used it, so they know you have a phone.
I know, but in a robbery situation, you take whatever's quickest, right?
Right.
Because I live in an apartment complex, so the chances of being caught during a robbery are pretty high. I think of the psychological impacts to the person committing the crime.
Okay.
So, it's not really set up for a getaway situation. You got to walk by 4 other apartments to get to your car, which is parked on the public street,
Yeah.
down a hill. So if you're running down that, you could easily fall down that hill. It's a steep incline. And so when you're grabbing all this stuff to get and go, that's the thing too. He knows I have a phone, so maybe he just wants the phone.
Okay. But so hopefully you hide the phone. Because what if you were to get robbed and somebody's like, I know you've got the phone, go get it. Then if you have it in the same spot as your wallet and your keys. Then they can get all this shit.
No one said this was a logical conversation, Joy.
Okie dokie.
The fact that I'm hiding my shit, even though I'm letting the stranger come into my house,
Right.
is problematic as already.
It is.
Right.
It is.
So, not that I've ever been robbed
No,
or
thankfully.
attacked. Well, there was that one time, but not really attacked, but told no, and no didn't happen. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know why I do, and I do it with everybody. Like, I think, like,
Even
there's been
if
times.
you've been hooking up with this person.
Oh,
for...
no. Not them. Now, if you've been here more than once, I don't hide everything from you.
Okay.
And there are times when there's not like if I go and I meet them somewhere and then we come back here, then I don't really worry about that. Like, or if I go and pick them up and they come over, whatever. Like, they obviously know where my keys and wallet and and phone are at that point because they came into the place with me. So
Right.
like, all those situations, I don't do that. But if it's just a straight up, like, they're coming to the apartment, because I don't trust people. I don't trust people are going to be the pictures that they sent.
Right.
So, there's that too.
Now, how many times would you say that somebody's come over that they have been completely different than the picture that they sent? If you got a face picture. I'm not talking about their dick.
Yeah, because see, that's just it. Sometimes you don't even get their face picture, right?
I would feel like you got to send me a face picture if you're coming over. I'm sorry.
No.
Because don't you want to know who the fuck is coming over? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just
Sometimes
seems...
you just want deep fried turkey, but you don't care who cooks it. If you got deep fried turkey on Thanksgiving, fuck you. Anyway, I don't know. I guess that's more of the. There have been times when the picture is clearly the picture at one point in their life. That was their picture.
But not currently.
But not currently. They didn't obviously do their 10-year thing on Facebook.
Right.
Their 2009, 2019. Like, maybe you're using a 2009 picture.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I've had that before. I don't know. And then there's lighting and there's angles. So not everybody's picture is going to look like what they are when they're in person. So
True.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I've had people tell me I look younger in person than I did in my photo, which is always a compliment to me.
It's also weird.
Never.
I guess I feel like you look the same in your pictures as you do in real life. Like the same age for sure.
Well, I don't know. I would imagine that I look better in pictures because I have one of those faces that's not symmetrical whatsoever. So different angles, different sides, I look different. Not right now. My face is swollen. Don't look at me.
But wasn't that like a thing, like a study or something, that like people that don't have symmetrical faces are more beautiful because there's something that gets too eerie and creepy about if everything is lined up?
I don't mean 100% symmetrical.
Saying.
Yes. Everyone has two faces technically, because one side of your face is different than the other. So, have you ever been in a situation? I've also put myself in unsafe situations going to other people's houses, which we've talked about before because I text message you and let you know the location in which I'm at.
Yes.
And in the time constraints in which I've given this hookup.
Yes.
And if I'm not out, I'm dead.
Right. Now I've done that like when I was in Chicago. I've done where I like went to somebody's house and I really probably shouldn't have at all.
Yeah.
And I was punished for doing so by encountering the smallest dick I've ever encountered in my life. So there you go. Karma's instant sometimes.
Instant karma. I've heard you can buy that for breakfast now.
Instant karma.
Carnation instant karma.
Ah, nice.
That's it? Just the smallest dick ever?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a lot of... I'm not as adventurous as you are, so...
Adventurous is a good term for hoe.
That's not what I was meaning. I mean the, like, people you haven't seen their face and they just come over.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.